Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm obviously an amazing surprise. Great call to receive. No, it wasn't. Playing a test at Lord's wasn't on my radar really a few weeks ago. So there's lots of elements of surprise, but then all those emotions of excitement. What an incredible opportunity I've been given here. So just hugely honoured and excited.
Your recall has been widely praised and seen as a very positive thing, but I'd like to ask you about how you're going to go about it in Test match cricket. Because Rajasthan, you're there smacking it at the top of the order in T20 cricket, and now you might have to go and leave a few for an hour or so. How are you going to strike that balance?
Yeah, interesting. I think when a lot of people have obviously talked to me about how I should play in Test cricket. Had a lot of conversations with Shane Warne, actually. We were talking about red ball cricket and how I should approach it during the IPL. And I think, chatting to Ed Smith and chatting to Ruti, that's the sort of role they want me to play. They want me to play in the fashion that comes very naturally to me, batting at 7, playing in potentially counter-attacking or those kind of, and actually being really true to that and playing my brand of cricket. So, and I think that originality and that being genuine is going to give me the best chance of success.
Joe was quoted in the paper, he said, he can express himself, in other words you, at number 7. What does express yourself mean, though? Can you define that?
It's a pretty blank canvas, isn't it, really, which is exciting. Obviously it's an unbelievable, as I said, opportunity in that excitement, and something I'm desperate to just go out and enjoy as well. I think, having had a taste of it before, I thought I did that very well for the first half of my Test matches, was sort of the novelty of it, and everything was just incredible. Then I sort of just started to think a little bit too much about the wrong thoughts, and I felt like I learned a lot from that phase in my career. But for me, expressing myself and being genuine to who I am and the way I play the game is what's going to give me the best chance to succeed.
You mentioned blank canvas. You mentioned that to me when I interviewed you at your school back in the day. And white ball cricket is a bit more obvious what needs to be done, but the blank canvas of red ball cricket seemed to confuse you at times back then. Are you in a better position to see that canvas and actually plot your way through?
Yeah, I think so. I'm probably looking at it differently. You sort of paint your own canvas.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying in the one-day games, where it is sort of laid out for you as how you're going to play, whereas probably it's more exciting. That's the way I'm sort of looking at it now. Is it's up to you, however you want to go and do it. So that's a really exciting thought, I think. It's just absolutely buzzing. When you turn up here, there's definitely times where I thought, I'll never play another test, let alone one at Lord's. So, when you come through the gates here, that excitement and wanting to just go out there and have the best time this week is really my overriding emotion.
You also said to me when we spoke at your school that you'd taken a lot of advice when you played Test match cricket before, and at times that confused you. You were thinking too much about what Mitchell Stark might do or whatever. How are you better now to compartmentalise what's being said and what's applicable to you?
Yeah, I think maybe a bit more maturity again. I think actually playing in a lot of competitions around the world has really helped that, because you turn up to these competitions and you have to know yourself. You're working with guys for 6 weeks, or you might be with a team for 2 weeks or 8 weeks. So it's really important what works for you, and that filter of information. And I think a lot of it comes down to a lot of acceptance. Like this week, I have to accept that you guys are going to talk about me being back. The guys sat in row Z will have an opinion. The media, written media, will have an opinion. So, and rather than worry about it, I just accept that. That's how it is. That's what it is. And people are always going to have that opinion, and that's why it's interesting. That's why life's interesting. So, I think talking to other people as well can give you more clarity as well. So, at times I was saying, it's confusing because maybe you're trying to please people, whereas now, actually I feel like I know what I want, and if I'm talking to someone, I know what I'm trying to get out of it, or what parts I am listening to, or sometimes you're just being polite and sort of listening, but you're not listening. Take that on board. But I'd say talking to Shane Warne was fascinating. You know him from spending a lot of time in the commentary box. That cricket brain is incredible. So, and the way he talks about the game, and I sort of really enjoyed listening to him, and the way he felt that I could play is obviously gives you a lot of confidence.
You mentioned the excitement of coming back here and playing Test match cricket laws, and I can see it written all over your face. But talking out in the IPL, do you get the sense that the IPL players are still excited by Test match cricket?
Yeah, I do. And I think people still really value Test cricket, especially the players. I think I actually found it really interesting when, so to go off on a tangent, but when Kevin Peterson, officially retired, he didn't talk about his one-day knocks. He didn't talk about the incredible things he could do. Again, it was all Test matches. It was all that 100 at the Oval. It was that 100 against South Africa, Mumbai, and it was all these incredible Test match knocks. And I think for the players, you still know that Test matches is where sort of legends are made, but it's a real true test of everything involved in cricket. So, and I think the wider public still feel that as well. I think it's very interesting. The current captain of India is coming to play for Surrey because he is determined to do well in Test matches in England. So I think it still shows that everyone views Test matches as the best.
You've described Test match cricket to me as the ultimate. And again, you can see it written all over your face how much you're looking forward to it. Unlike Alex Hales and say Adil Rashid, you haven't retired from Test match cricket. You haven't become a white ball specialist. But can I ask you why your actions haven't sort of backed up what you said about the importance of Test match cricket? Because you haven't played any red ball, hardly.
Yeah, good question. I think, in a way, I'd never given up hope. I'd never said I didn't want to play Test matches. But the opportunities that were afforded to me this winter to play in the Big Bash, the IPL is, for me, the biggest tournament in the world, probably the biggest event in cricket in the world. So that's something I want to be involved in. And actually, it's interesting, I'd say, from not making the Ashes squad. I didn't expect to be picked, but it was actually, I thought, a really interesting time. I was had a couple of weeks where I sort of think, well, what about for 2 years do I give up white ball cricket and try everything I can do to go away in the winters and try and play red ball cricket somewhere, focus completely on red ball cricket and try and make it work. And but then at the same time you think, well, I'm missing out on loads of things I'm probably, on something I'm better at the minute, the white ball stuff, my real strengths, and to take that time out of your career is actually probably a huge risk, and why can't I do both? And I thought, this has obviously come earlier than I thought, but this summer was going to be a huge summer for me, I felt, because the one-day stuff would all be out of the way early doors, and I was available for I think 6 or 7 championship games for Lancashire. So that's where I felt, that's going to be my time to really show that I've made some improvements and really work on that red ball game. So I definitely had some interesting thoughts about what was the best way to try and work my way back in, but I just felt the way the world is going in cricket and the opportunities that were afforded to me were too good to turn down, and there's no reason why I couldn't do it all.
It's interesting you've had that almost conflict within yourself about the red and the white ball. I mean, I'm very surprised to hear you even consider thinking about not playing white ball cricket for a while. So I wonder if that conflict within you or the discussion within you could confuse you going forward. The World Cup's just round the corner. Now you've got to go and work out how to play red ball cricket again. Could that sort of derail you? Because the white ball stuff and your white ball form has been so good, just let that flow through to the World Cup?
Yeah, I think, actually, no, I think maybe for a period of time where I've done that and battled with the 2 games, whereas actually, especially where I've been asked to bat now and the fashion people have asked me to play in, it's just the same game. I think when I watch the best players around the world, the basics of what they do in white and red ball always transcend across both games. And Trevor Bayliss has always said that the best players do the same simple basics in every form of the game. So I think for me, whatever colour the ball is, I've just got to go and play.
Do you think it's like a debut all over again?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm definitely going to be nervous. It's incredible to be back and have this opportunity, because what's been afforded to me is an incredible opportunity. And